Advertising came into my life pretty much by chance. That was not something I had planned for. I started engineering, and then I went into business. So it was not something that I had planned for. I understood the value of advertising in entrepreneurship and in business. So I thought I'd get into an agency and start to learn about advertising from the inside. And then I never left. I never left because I was given I think what they thought at the time was the worst job they could give me. I don't think they wanted me in that agency, so they gave me the worst job. And the job at the time was, and you and I are of that era, where you got magazines and you cut the different ads, or magazines or newspapers, and you cut the ads and you made a book of them, so that you could send to your account executives and say, we have a water client. These are all the ads that ran today about water, and these are all the ads that ran today about banking and those things. And my first 3 months in advertising were surrounded by advertising, by horribly bad advertising, most of it. Boring shit, horrible stuff, which is most of the advertising in the world. But every now and then, there was a good ad. There was a beautiful photography. There was a funny headline, or there was a very intelligent headline, and that brightened my days, literally. And I started to fall in love with the possibility of brightening people's lives, at least the people that had my job, or brightening my own job, and saying, advertising is bad. There's so much opportunity here. I remember the ads that are good. I forget all the others that are bad. And I kind of fell in love with that process, and I said I would like to see if I'm any good at it. And here I am many years later. Let's not get into that. But here I am many years later, thinking that we still can do better. First of all, I think it's important to make the distinction that this was not a pro bono campaign. This was a paid campaign, and a real client and a real brief, and we actually got paid for this. We didn't offer it up. We had a real client that was. So I think the difference, that already starts being a little bit different. It isn't something that we wanted to do just because we thought it was cool. It was something that we were hired to do, and we did it because we believed in what we were being hired to do. Now, the idea of the Christmas trees was usually what we did every Christmas was that I sat in my office, and all of the teams in the agency came, and we looked at the idea that we were going to do, over the year. What the ideas were and how we were going to affect and so different teams had different ideas. And a couple of creatives walked into my office and said, and I think I'm quoting them word for word, they said, Soko, we have this idea of dressing up Christmas trees, because what is the most recognized symbol of Christmas, not only in Colombia but universally, not only in Colombia but universally, what is the most recognized symbol? The Christmas tree. No? And what are there a lot of in the jungle? Trees. So let's do Christmas trees in the jungle. And I said, this sounds very weird to me. Keep going. And then they said, and we're going to light a banner that says, if Christmas can come to the jungle, you can come home. And I said, that's the idea we're doing. And they went and did it, and it's there. But it was a very simple process. They came up with it. I think the logic is impeccable. They sold me on the logic. I had bought the logic, but then they put the emotion, and the emotion was that line. If Christmas can come to the jungle where you are, you should be home. And I think that was a genius, and that's when I was sold. So it was the combination of impeccable logic and the human touch.